Welcome to Yester Motor. Today we'll be looking at the 6 worst Harley-Davidsons of all time. Harley-Davidson's been ruling the automotive market for more than a century, but sometimes even legends hit a bump in the road. While most of the Harleys have passed tests of power and performance, there are some engineering experiments that did not live up to the hype. Today, we're going to list down a few absolute worst Harley-Davidsons ever made. Stick around till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Buell Blast. The first one on our list is not exactly a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Well, it is, but it's a little complicated. The bike was created by Eric Buell, who was an engineer at Harley-Davidson, and it was created for racing purposes only. He later made a business out of it, and Harley-Davidson bought 98% of the ownership. So, even though the bike is not exactly a Harley-Davidson, it technically is. And because most of these Buell bikes were equipped with Harley V-twin air-cooled engines, these bikes were sold as a companion brand to Harley-Davidson. First introduced in 2000, the Buell Blast was an entry-level motorcycle. And because it was something different from Harley's usual cruisers and touring bikes, they were marketed to attract newcomers to motorcycling. The design costs were pretty low, and the operation and maintenance were also really easy. Apart from being equipped with a 491.64cc air-cooled OHV single engine, the motorcycle also had an automatically tensioned belt final drive, self-adjusting hydraulic valve lifters, and a carburetor with an automatic choke. The exterior body of the Buell Blast was from Surlyn. Surlyn is often used to make golf balls, and it was specifically used to protect the bike if it ever dropped. This bike was a major flop for exactly the reason it was promoted for. As it was designed for a plain appearance and low-key experience, it ended up looking more like a utility scooter than a motorcycle. Now, some might like it for this look, but the single-cylinder engine might make your ride extremely uncomfortable. With extreme vibrations at high speed, it was one uncomfortable experience. The motorcycle was majorly bashed in the market. Although the company tried its best to keep the product alive, it had to discontinue it in 2009. Although in 2010, a few Buell Blasts were sold, these were just a few requested ones. Number 5. 1980 Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000. Harley-Davidson messed up really badly with their Sportster. We're sure not many of you would have expected this one to make it on the list because the entire Sportster line is one of the most prized possessions of Harley-Davidson. But let's just talk about the 1980 Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000 because this one was a big disappointment. From the very start, the Sportsters were the perfect blend of good specifications and crazy experience. The 1980 Sportster 1000 was equipped with a 997cc Ironhead V-twin engine producing almost 57 pieces of horsepower and assisted by a 4-speed manual transmission. But despite the powerful engine, the bike was one of the worst Harley inventions ever. The build quality was just average. Many riders reported frequent oil leaks, overheating, and difficulty starting the bike. The engine that was supposed to be one of the Cairo powerful engines of the time failed really badly. Causing the excessive vibrations that often loosened bolts made the entire riding experience really exhausting and uncomfortable. Not to forget the weight. Weighing over 500 pounds, the Sportster 1000 was so heavy that it often lost balance, especially at low speeds. And the 4-speed manual suspension that was supposed to provide a smooth ride was clunky and unrefined. All of this just ruined the Sportster reputation that was built in the past 2 decades from 1957. And with the increasing competition in 1980 in the motorcycle market, Harley was struggling to keep up. The Sportster 1000 became known as the prime example of the lack of innovation at the company, and it ended up becoming the worst model of the Sportster line. Number 4. 2009 to 2013 Harley-Davidson Road Glide. There are many Harley-Davidson Road Glides that did extremely well in the market, but the 2009 to 2013 Road Glide models were nothing but disappointing. While the Road Glide is known as Harley-Davidson's one of the most comfortable rides, the 2009 to 2013 model failed to live up to those expectations. The model was equipped with a 1,584cc twin-cam 96 V-Tane engine that could produce up to 68 horsepower and 92 pound-feet of torque. The engine was assisted by a 6-speed cruise drive. Along with all these specifications, the Road Glide had the signature Harley style, a spacious seat, and a stable frame, but the performance and the design issue made it an epic failure. The motorcycle weighed almost 800 pounds. That was a lot of weight, but the worst part was that there was only 68 horsepower to move over this weight. As one would expect, the rides were really sluggish. The engine's air-cooled design did more damage than help. The design led to significant heat buildup, and the excessive heat radiating from the engine caused a lot of discomfort for the riders. Even the suspension was way too stiff. With the bike's weight, it made the riding experience even worse, especially on uneven roads and at lower speeds. The braking system was faulty to the extent that it would cause a total loss of braking power. Number 3. 2015 Electra Glide Ultra Classic. The 2015 Electra Glide Ultra Classic was equipped with a twin-cooled high-output twin-cam 103 engine. With a 6-speed cruise drive transmission, a 6-gallon fuel tank, and Project Rushmore enhancements, the bike weighed more than 882 pounds. Now, despite these high-end specs, the riding experience left the users frustrated and disappointed. From mechanical failures to faulty chemical reactions, the bike had every problem that there could have been. The clutch's hydraulic system would generate gas bubbles that end up in a loss of clutch function, and this was not just an inconvenience for the riders. It was a serious risk and ended up being the reason behind 27 reported accidents and 313 warranty claims. The clutch was not the only problem. Even the gear had several problems. There were frequent reports of the gears failing prematurely, and the problem was so bad that it was catastrophic for the bike's overall performance. The water pump was also built with a really flawed design, and that led to cooling inefficiencies. Several complaints said the motorbike felt like a gamble on wheels. With the powerful engine and cool features, riders expected a really refined experience, but all they were met with were persistent problems and safety risks. The other electric glides were better built, but the engine remains the common problem in all of the models. This was one of the most problematic models by the company. The number of complaints was so bad that the problem even caught the attention of the National Highway Traffic System Administration. Number 2. The Twin Cam 88 engines. The next one on our list is not a Harley-Davidson motorbike. Instead, it is an engine. And if an engine had a problem, that means every model that was built with it also had a problem. The Twin Cam 88 engine was first designed to replace the Harley-Davidson Evolution engine. Also, the initial goal was for the engine to deliver more power and be more reliable than the previous engine, but it faced a lot of criticism. The Twin Cam 88 engine was released in September 1998. Because of the failure of the engine, the laid-on Twin Cam 95 and 96 were also released. The 88 engine was a 45-degree V-twin 1,450cc air-cooled engine that produced almost 63 horsepower and almost 80 pound-feet of torque. The Twin Cam 88 engine was first applauded for the upgrades like a stronger crankcase and improved lubrication, but once the riders actually started using it in practical life, the criticism started to flow in. The main problem with the engine was the cam chainer tensioner system. Because the tensioners were made out of plastic, they wore out really quickly, literally within 20,000 to 30,000 miles. And once the tensioners failed, it would cause catastrophic engine damage. To overcome this, riders were forced to spend additional money to install hydraulic tension sets and gear-driven cams. But this wasn't the only problem. The plastic from the tensioners would sometimes drop into the oil pump. This led to oil leaks, contamination of engine parts, excessive crankshaft runout, extreme vibration, transmission problems, and even overheating problems. And the frequent need for maintenance with the additional cost was a real pain for riders. Number 1. 1961 Harley-Davidson Topper. The Harley-Davidson Topper was the only motor scooter that was produced by the Harley-Davidson Motor Company. First introduced in 1961, the production for the motor scooter ran from 1961 to 1965, and then the idea was put to rest. The Topper was equipped with a 165cc single-cylinder two-stroke engine. The engine was mounted horizontally between the floorboards, but unlike most engines, the Topper's engine did not have a cooling fan. The engineers expected that because the engine was horizontally mounted, it would be cooled by the air passing under the scooter. The scooter was built with 5-inch internal expanding drum brakes on both wheels, and the front brake was controlled by a hand lever on the left handlebar with a parking brake lock, and the rear brake was controlled by a pedal. The 1,655cc two-stroke engine did not really produce enough power, and because it required an oil and gasoline premix, the entire experience became very messy. And as a Harley-Davidson product, the top speed of 46 miles per hour was also a huge disappointment. Riders expected a lot more than that from the motor scooter, but the top speed just ruined its appeal. There were many competitors in the motor scooter market back then. Going up against Vespa and Lambretta did not give the Topper any advantage because these models were extremely advanced. These players were already dominating the market, and the Topper's mediocre specifications were not helpful at all. And there you have it. Do you think we missed a model that deserved a spot on this list? Let us know in the comments below. Share this video with your fellow Harley-Davidson fanatics and make sure to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.